myself Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing that the Euro USD has been trying to gain ground and it is trading very close to the psychologically important level of 1.215. But so far, it hasn't really been able to see a breakout on the higher side beyond this level. It has struggled so far in the session. And I think these gains, which we have seen Euro USD accumulating in today's session, starting closer to the 1.210 levels, are here to stay. And in coming sessions, it might even move on to the higher side if we get the breakout. So in next couple of sessions, the outlook is bullish for the Euro USD, and we will see what are the levels to watch out for in today's session as well as for next couple of sessions. If we take a look on the broader market, in the equity segment, the US equity indices are continuing to trade in the range. Even in today's session, we saw the buying momentum coming back after the low was made closer to the 31,300 level for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and now from those lows, the Dow has gained almost 200 points. So this is a range-bound market where there is not much of momentum on the either side, so we don't really have any fresh breakout. And I think unless and until we see any breakout, we should simply use scalping methods in these range-bound markets. On the data front, we got these minor releases, and both these releases coming in from the regional Federal Reserves, regional Feds. One is from Chicago Fed National Activity Index, and this is also showing improvement, and the reading is highest for last 3 months. And the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index is also showing that in the state of Texas of the United States, the manufacturing sector is doing pretty well, and the reading has almost more than doubled compared to the prior month's reading of 7. Now, for the month of February, it stands at 17.2. So, robust economic growth is being seen in the United States. Now, moving on to the technical front, here we will first see the technical outlook for the Euro USD, and then we will also consider the USD JPY. And the underlying theme for both these currency crosses is the weakness in the USD. So we will try to capitalize on this. This is the daily time frame chart. In the Friday session, I had talked about the sharp turnaround which we were witnessing in the Euro USD, and that has been holding true for today's session as well. So if any of you had gone in for the buy trade as per the Friday's outlook, I think you might be sitting on pretty good amount of profit. Even now, we will see what are the implications moving forward. If you consider these daily formation, the reversal has been taken place after getting closer to this 50% Fibonacci retracement of its prior rally, and now it increasingly looks like a inverted head and shoulder pattern. Here you can see that this was the lowest level, and now this new higher low was formed, and from there the reversal has been sharp, as I said earlier also. So from a lower time perspective, we will have to watch out for any new breakout on this resistance zone. Here we also have the central pivot point around 1.218, and the prior swing high is also fairly close, and this consolidation phase highs. And because of these resistance, we will have to be a bit cautious while looking for the buying opportunities. But the underlying momentum is strong. This regression curve has only recently shifted gears, and now it is inclined on the higher side, and also we are not far away from the central pivot point above which the Euro USD will be entering into the bullish trajectory for the month. So looking at both these technical patterns, even along with the price action formation of these higher low, the probability is a lot higher for ending in profit if we look for the buy trade. And for that, we will have to keep in mind certain levels, and I think to that extent, this SMA formation can help, where we can utilize this confidence zone of 50, 100, and 200 SMA, which is there around 1.21. And we in today's session observed that this 50 SMA has now crossed about 200 SMA. So we also have the golden crossover in place, and this prior low closer to these 100 SMA and this sharp reversal also points to the substantial buying momentum in the Euro USD. And as a result of that, I am fairly optimistic in Euro USD as long as it is holding well above these 200 SMA. So this is the price area closer to these 200 SMA, which is there around 1.211. So we are almost 30-35 pips away from this near-term support zone, and anything above that should be good enough to look for the buying opportunity, while keeping the stop loss just little up below this 100 SMA, which is there around 1.209. So if we are looking for a longer term trade, swing trade, then the stop loss is not really close. We will have to take a bit of risk here. But if we are fortunate enough to get the entry anywhere in the price band of 1.212 to 1.213, then I think the risk will come down to say 30-40 pips. Then that will become more manageable, and we can target the price of around 1.22 on the higher side. So this reward ratio will also be in our favor of 1 is to 2. Now moving on to the USD JPY. USD JPY is seeing selling pressure after getting closer to the 106 zone, and it looks like that it has failed to cross. It did cross, but it has failed to sustain above this prior resistance zone, and this can be considered a case of a false breakout. And now it has turned, and in today's session, the dollar has taken a severe beating, and we are seeing the decline across the board in the USD against its major currency peers, and the USD JPY is also no exception. So here, the outlook is now increasingly looking bearish from the near-term perspective, and there are some levels. I think these first resistance of this month's pivot point series is going to act as a near-term resistance now that we have this breakout on the lower side. The regression curve is going to flatten as we have the price action shifting to the low band. So those who were using these technical formations now will find that situation is changing from being bullish to bearish, and we will have to adapt accordingly. And on the lower side, we do have some support closer to this prior swing low, which is there around 104.5, but still we have 50-60 pips to go till we get closer to the support zone. And in today's session, the turnaround has been sharp, and the selling momentum which gathered pace after making a high closer to 105.8 is still there. And I think we will have to rely on these fresh breakout on the lower side, and the price zone of around 105.30 to 40 can be considered as a crucial area to look out for the fresh opportunities to get involved for the short sale side for a short sale trade, while keeping the stop loss anywhere closer to the 100 SMA. So in today's session, we have already seen the decline of almost 70-80 pips, and as a result of that, it will be difficult to go for the fresh trading opportunities after this sharp move. But for next session, we can utilize this fresh breakout on the lower side, and also this 200 SMA is there. So both these technical formations are going to provide us the much needed fresh uh, price zone where we can target for the entry point as an, and on the higher side this 100 SMA can be considered as the resistance zone, and it will also act as a decisive marker. So as long as price action is happening below it, we can be hopeful of profiting on the short sell side. And if the reversal happens in the market, you never know, anything can happen. But if that does happen, then we shouldn't be losing too much money. And to make sure that is the case, we can keep the stop loss just a little above it, and then wait it out and see how the price action unfolds. And on the lower side, as I said, the price zone of around 14.50 can be considered as our next target. So here also the risk reward ratio will be good enough to take the risk. We will have to take the risk of around 30 pips, and on the lower side we can target around 60-70 pips. So that is my take on USD JPY's technical formation. If any of you have any idea or any query to share, you can write to me in the feedback, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risks associated with trading the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you tomorrow. Thank you all for joining in, and do subscribe to the Deposit Webinar channel to stay updated on market developments. Goodbye.